The captain and owner of the Womanizer, a new pirate ship with all the luxury needed to sail any sea, was built from the captain player's daydreams. He is a handsome, tall and quick-witted man who wore a crisp white button-down shirt with the sleeves pulled up to his tan elbows that tucked into his red and black checkered shorts. He slipped on his black leather baseball cap over his dark blonde perfected hair, cut in a modern fade that oozed trendy. His deck shoes came from Italy. One of his girlfriends traveled there to pick them out. Another girlfriend had the Womanizer's flag custom made from Louis Vuitton, that red Womanizer under the ship's logo of a stick woman that managed to have a curvy body that bowed down in front of a stick man, who resembled Player himself, handing him a gift box. His latest conquest, a gorgeous swimsuit model, gave him over 500 bottles of his favorite liquors, stacking his dry pantry with delicious sweets and treats for his voyage. Player handpicked his crew. There were blonde, brunette, black and red-headed first mates, curly-haired medical doctors, straight-haired sailing masters, wavy-haired maids and braided cooks and bartenders. He had a loyal group of athletic muscled women skilled for battle, and a feisty bunch of big booties to be his gunners and cannon operators, and a club of petite pirate entertainers that wore jeweled costumes and high heels as they sing and dance for the captain, until he found his daydreamed visions. Player's stream of consciousness that formed his desires of the sea and his deep love of women into one creature, he daydreamed and craved this new breed of lustful woman, who could live on land and in the sea. He stated these women were born to please and grew to be the most sexually attractive beings. They are trained to give him a variety of lust and adventure, as their only goal is to keep him satisfied with an endless appetite and mind-blowing performances that regular Earth women didn't possess. He was willing to risk his life and his inheritance on finding his dream of legendary mythical ladies. Pirates were known to steal, purge and ruin. They took what they wanted and set sail without any remorse or guilt. The Womanizer's captain was no different. His selfishness and greed were not his anchors and his self-centered ego was bigger than his main sails. In his large ship's hold, the area under the main deck, he stowed thousands of reminders of his past lovers, in sealable totes, he called his treasures. Only sleeping with them one time, he felt he needed to save himself for more women instead of wasting his talents on one over and over again. He saved a wisp of hair, earrings or pendants, or sometimes a tooth or finger from his lovers. With no Google Maps or GPS, he ventured out on distant waters to welcome his dreamed-about herd of water and air-breathing creatures. In his mind, he painted some of them in sleek shiny dolphin gray bodies. Some in seafoam green finely shaped floating seahorses. Some would have coral pink studded bodies like starfish. Some women had multiple pleasuring body parts resembling purple shades of octopus, and a few of them would appear clear and flowy, but clearly naughty, and have a bit of sting when played with. He wanted to make history. He wanted to give the world a blended mix of human and sea life. After his one time with these beautiful sea women, he's allowed them to mate with other men, as they serve out their duties, and by creating new bloodlines to fill the sea and lands. Being impatient, Player was bored by his 200th-year-long sail. He only had a few more women to use for his wiles when he saw an island nearby from his drone. Little did he know, the women took turns coloring and cutting their hair to appear to be his unused women. The ones who were missing fingers or teeth were spared for this duty. Within a few days, he commanded to his crew to drop anchors near the beach of the tropical oasis. He swam to shore with 5 of his gunners armed with assault weapons. The trees had ripe fruit, the ground bore hardy vegetables, and a stone well was already constructed and drilled for drinking water, which didn't impress the captain since he still had water bottles in his hull. In the middle of decorating his island home, Player caught glimpse of an enchanting blue and green-scaled woman. She sat naked on a rock close to his ship, flipping her tail in and out of the tide, making a splash. He gazed upon her beauty and walked to the edge of his deck to gain a better look. She smiled at the sight of him and waved her webbed hand to lure him closer. His women, one by one, lined the shore in honor of his guest. She eyed him, drawing his interest and excitement, smiling at him. She waved him closer. One of the women from the shore, a pinky-less redhead, started to sing a lovely song, the others joining in. Player thought of this as a special way to welcome her into his harem, and a thoughtful gesture of his harem. He swayed to the voices, lost in their song. The sea woman didn't take her fish-like eyes off of Player wanting to sing herself. She found her earthly voice and finished the chorus herself. Where's my girls at? From the front to back. Well, is you feeling that? Put one fin up. Can you repeat that? Put one hand up. Together the woman danced and rapped the rest of his song. You must learn the rules, Player. We aren't property. Your junk is flip-floppity. You couldn't even fuck properly. You must learn the rules, Player. Womanizing ain't no game. Your dick is beyond lame. And your ego is to blame. And we never once came. You must learn the rules, Player. Your cock is a dry dock. Your sexing isn't skilled. And your little bitty cock left us all unfulfilled. You must learn the rules, Player. Now drop to your knees and fall with ease as the seas breeze, leaving your women pleased. Player, hypnotized by the women's song, he did what they asked and fell lifeless to his death. His body landed in a heap on the wet hard sand with a thud. Finally free of his womanizing ways.